Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something really fundamental, I think. How the people we spend our time with, they aren't just there. They're actually shaping who we become
Actively.
actively. And we're exploring how real success, you could call it wealth, truly starts with a shift, a powerful mindset shift driven by who's around you.
Right.
This whole deep dive, it comes from the amazing story of Jagdeep, a listener who shared his insights with us over chai in Dubai, actually.
A great setting for this kind of conversation.
It really was. Okay, so let's try and unpack this a bit. Imagine, hitting a point in your life where you just feel stuck,
Yeah.
like you're treading water, not growing. Jagdeep's story is exactly about that moment. And crucially, how he deliberately, consciously changed his environment to change his path.
He re-engineered his circle.
Exactly. It's a journey from feeling totally stagnant to proactively building a life with purpose, with value, mostly by being really intentional about his connections.
It's such a powerful idea, and honestly one we often underestimate is
Yeah.
our personal ecosystem, our circle. It's not just scenery. It's an active participant, sometimes even a catalyst in our growth.
Or a lack of it.
Or lack of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what we'll do today is pull out Jagdeep's key lessons. How to spot those subtle, sometimes hidden, negative influences.
Yeah, the tricky ones.
How to make those deliberate shifts in who you associate with to change your trajectory. And ultimately, how to build a life where wealth isn't just about the bank balance.
Right, it's bigger than that.
It's a measure of deep personal value, fulfillment. His experience, I think, it offers a really practical way to think about this for anyone feeling that sense of untapped potential.
Okay, so Jagdeep shared a starting point that I think, gosh, so many of us can relate to. Just how hard it is to even realize you're surrounded by negativity day in, day out.
It creeps up on you.
It really does. It's not always obvious, is it? He described sitting with family or friends, and the conversations just kept drifting into gossip about other people, complaining about life, the usual stuff, or just general chat that had, well, nothing to do with making better choices or actually moving forward.
Filling the air.
Yeah. He specifically mentioned, like a decade ago, these coffee shop meetups. They always seem to loop back to the same kind of draining themes, complaining, comparing.
That familiar cycle.
What's so striking, and maybe a bit alarming when you think about it, is how easily we absorb that energy, that collective vibe, without even realizing we're kind of contributing to the negativity ourselves.
You become part of the echo chamber.
Totally. I mean, I remember a time when my commute felt like this endless source of frustration. And I'd get to work and just join in with colleagues complaining about traffic, deadlines.
The daily grind narrative.
Exactly. It wasn't malicious, not at all, but it definitely wasn't lifting anyone up, You listen, you nod, you add your bit, and before you know it, you're mentally swimming in that same stagnant pool, just accepting it. This is just how it is.
That's a perfect illustration. And what Jagdeep's story really brings home is just how insidious this influence can be.
Insidious, yeah.
It's not usually about, bad intentions from our loved ones. Not usually. It's more about the collective energy, the focus of the conversation that subtly molds our thoughts, our behaviors, often without us even noticing.
Like autopilot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Psychologically, you're touching on things like normative social influence. We unconsciously adapt to fit in with the group. And maybe confirmation bias, too. We look for things that confirm our existing, maybe negative view.
Ah, interesting.
So when the conversation is always about complaints, gossip, it can genuinely create this mental loop, this echo chamber, like you said.
Yeah.
It makes it incredibly hard to even see opportunities for growth or positive change.
You just don't see them.
You don't perceive them.
No.
It's passive absorption, yeah, but it has a huge impact. Quietly limiting our perspective, our potential, without us even realizing we're sort of in a cage.
Wow. It's not like a slow, quiet kind of erosion, doesn't it? So for Jagdeep, the turning point wasn't a sudden event, but this deep internal feeling. Stagnation.
That inner knowing.
Yeah. He just knew his life wasn't moving forward. He wasn't growing. He called it a deep hunger for something more. Something different.
A restlessness.
Exactly. And here's where maybe the universe, or just his subconscious, kind of nudged him. He stumbled onto motivational videos on YouTube.
Ah, the algorithm provides.
Right. But not because he was searching for motivation specifically.
Yeah.
He didn't even fully grasp the concept then. It was just a search for different energy, a new vibe. Anything but what he had.
Just seeking something positive.
Yeah. And then came the real catalyst, an invitation, a networking group.
Okay.
Now, initially, he went thinking, okay, business leads, very transactional, right?
Makes sense.
But when he actually sat down, met these other business owners, that's when he had the aha moment.
What was it?
He realized they weren't necessarily like miles ahead of him financially or anything. They had similar struggles, similar frustrations, both in business and, personally.
Mm-hmm. Human problems.
Totally. But the huge difference, the defining thing, was how they were showing up, their attitude, their approach.
Ah, the mindset.
Exactly. They weren't just complaining. They were actively looking for solutions, sharing what worked for them, embodying this different kind of drive, optimism, maybe?
A proactive energy.
Yes. So he ended up joining a weekly group, and this is fascinating. His main goal wasn't just leads or quick sales.
Okay, so what was it?
His deeper aim was to change himself, to change his habits, grow as a businessman, and consciously become the kind of person he'd been searching for.
Wow, that's a profound shift in intention.
Isn't it? And that experience, it just transformed his whole personal development journey. He started showing up differently in his business, got much clearer on his vision for
It
life.
had ripple effects.
Huge ripples.
Yeah.
And he made a really wise point. When you genuinely change, people notice.
Oh, they do.
And sometimes they might not even recognize the new you because you're not playing by the old rules, their established terms. And that can cause shifts in relationships. Big ones, even with people really close to you.
That's such a critical point to highlight.
Yeah.
Jagdeep's story just shows so clearly the massive difference between, let's say, accidental association, just hanging out with whoever's around, and the deliberate, intentional cultivation of a community that supports you.
Intentional community, I like that.
His initial feeling of stagnation, it wasn't just about lack of progress on the outside. It was a deep internal signal, wasn't it? That his current environment just wasn't feeding his desire for growth.
Yeah, I was starving it.
Right. So his proactive shift, seeking out specific groups, not just for what he could get transactionally, but for personal behavioral transformation. That's the key.
That's the core of it.
That search for the right room, it fundamentally reset his perspective, his vision, and about those relationship shifts.
Yeah, that's not always easy.
Now, when you evolve, you might just outgrow certain dynamics. It can cause friction. He had to navigate times where his new way of being just didn't mesh with others' comfort zones.
That takes courage.
It does. And what's really telling is, even when the pandemic hit and those physical groups weren't really an option, his commitment, his internal drive to be a person of value, it only got stronger.
Ah, so it came internalized.
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
just speaks volumes about the lasting power of that initial intentional choice he made.
Okay, so he made the shift. He's in these new rooms. He's starting to grow. And then he lands on this.
Well, it's a tough truth, but honestly, it's incredibly liberating too.
Okay.
If you genuinely want to grow, he says, you need to aim to be the least experienced person in the room.
Ooh, okay. That challenges the ego a bit, doesn't it?
Right. He challenges that calmer idea, maybe the comfortable idea, that you can learn how to, I don't know, make £1 million from someone who hasn't actually done it.
Yeah, the theory versus the practice. It's surprisingly simple logic when you think about it, isn't it? How can someone who hasn't reached that level, whatever it is, truly pull you up to it?
Mm-hmm. Their map only goes so far.
Exactly. Their advice, even if it's well-meant, is going to be limited by their own experience, their own perspective.
Naturally.
So you need to strategically surround yourself with people who are further along, people who've navigated the paths you're trying to figure out, who can genuinely show you the way, and often, crucially, become accountability partners.
People who hold you to it.
Yes, they're the ones who've lived the lessons you're trying to learn, or at least they're fiercely pursuing them at a higher level. I know for me, I've personally benefited massively from being in rooms where initially I felt completely out of my depth.
Yeah, that imposter syndrome feeling.
Totally.
On
But the
whole.
learning curve, it was just exponential because of that.
It absolutely challenges that deep-seated assumption in society that we should always try to be the expert, right?
Yeah.
Be the smartest person in the room. Jagdeep's insight just flips that completely. It encourages humility, a real learner's mindset. But it does raise an important question for you listening.
Go on.
While being the least experienced is great for growth, what about that risk of feeling, well, inadequate? Or maybe overwhelmed if you're always putting yourself in situations where you feel outgunned?
That's a fair point.
It requires not just competence, but real courage, resilience. His current circle, though, seems to nail this balance. He has friends who will straight up call him out if he's slipping.
Tough love.
Yeah, but constructive. They'll offer that firm hand to pull him back up if he's falling. It's not about being coddled, or just hearing nice things.
No easy ride.
No. It's about being held to a higher standard, a more rigorous one, by people who've either achieved what you're aiming for or are relentlessly pursuing it. It's a strategic choice, really. Optimizing for growth by seeking out those who embody the progress you want. And importantly, who won't let you settle for less.
That's such a vital distinction. It's not about feeling bad about yourself all the time, but actively seeking challenge and genuine support. Constructive challenge.
Exactly.
So, okay, bringing this home. What does this all mean for you, listening right now? Jagdeep offers a pretty direct challenge.
Let's hear it.
Take an honest look around your current circle. Ask yourself really honestly, who is actually pulling you up when you're feeling down? Who is truly inspiring you to grow?
That takes real honesty.
It does, because the uncomfortable truth is the people you spend the most time with will inevitably shape who you become. For better or for worse.
It's like osmosis.
It really is. It's almost a mirroring effect. And it's so important to be conscious of what you're reflecting and what you're absorbing. Now, he's quick to clarify something important here. This doesn't mean you suddenly cut off family or old friends.
Right, it's not about ghosting everyone.
Yeah. No, it's not about abandoning people. Instead, it's about recognizing that maybe they need help too, just like you did, or maybe still do. Maybe they also need to find a new group, new influences, people who will elevate them. And in doing that, elevate you both.
It's about expanding the circle, maybe, not just replacing it.
Exactly. Finding ways to bring positive influences into your shared world rather than just, walking away. It's an invitation for everyone, not an eviction notice for some.
That's a much more compassionate approach.
Yeah. And his second challenge is super practical, something you can literally do this week, today even.
Okay, actionable steps. Good.
Spend less time, even just a little bit less, with one person you feel drains your energy or brings negativity. Just one.
Okay, manageable.
And actively seek to spend more time or have one meaningful conversation with at least one person who lifts you up. Someone positive. Have one conversation that makes you feel more inspired or like you learned something valuable.
Just one conversation.
Just one. He promises you will notice the difference immediately in your energy, your outlook. It's a small step, totally doable, but it can genuinely kickstart a massive change over time.
These takeaways are so good because they skip that feeling of needing a massive, radical life overhaul, which can feel paralyzing.
And too overwhelming.
Yeah. Instead, they focus on these small, incremental, conscious choices.
Yeah.
Things that gently start to shift your internal state and your external environment. It's about becoming like a conscious auditor of your energetic inputs.
Oh, energetic inputs. I like
Being mindful of what you allow in, what influences your thoughts, your emotions. By just seeking out one positive chat or minimizing exposure to one negative influence, you start this powerful process. You begin rewiring your own mindset, creating these micro shifts in your personal world.
Little hinges swing big doors.
Exactly. And it ties perfectly back to Jagdeep's main idea, that wealth, true wealth, in its broadest, most meaningful sense, doesn't start with money. It starts with a deliberately cultivated mindset, resilient, growth-oriented. It's about realizing your immediate environment isn't just background noise. It's a powerful lever you can actually pull.
What a fantastic deep dive, drawing straight from Jagdeep's experience over that chai. Just shows, doesn't it? From accidentally soaking up negativity to intentionally seeking out people who elevate you. His journey just screams the power of conscious choice in shaping where we end up. It's a huge reminder that our environment isn't just something that happens to us.
We have agency.
We absolutely do. We can actively, strategically cultivate it.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for your journey? Remember Jagdeep's core message. Wealth isn't just the pounds and pence. It genuinely begins with your mindset.
It starts inside.
It starts inside with that inner work, and then the conscious, maybe brave choice of who you share your most valuable resource, your time with.
It really makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? If strategically putting ourselves in rooms where we're the least experienced is how we learn and accelerate our own growth, then how can we, in turn, become that inspiring, elevating influence for someone else, someone in our circles? How do we help them find their right room?
Ah, paying it forward.
Exactly. Maybe without needing to be the person who's already made £1 million, Yeah. How do we foster that same supportive, challenging environment for others who are looking to grow? Recognizing that wealth, in that bigger sense, isn't just something you get. It's something you create and something you share.
Wow. That's definitely something profound to ponder as you navigate your own connections and figure out your path forward.